Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us again in this series of what's going on in Columbia County in 2021. I am Scott Johnson, your county manager. I'm joined here today by Shawn Granato. Shawn is our Director of EMA here in Columbia County. We're going to be talking about the EMA division and how Columbia County is prepared to take care of any emergency that's thrown our way. Shawn, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, Shawn, your division is actually, it's a department. You're a department director over the EMA. You report directly to the county manager's office. But just talk a little bit about kind of what you oversee as far as EMA is concerned.
The biggest thing that I want to do is education and outreach. I have a staff of only two, but the two folks that I have are extraordinarily important. I have Corbin. He's a new guy. He's been here for about a year. I've been here for 4 now. I mean, I've been in the county for 5. And then Susie, who's kind of our rock, who's been here for 20 years now. So we bring a pretty diverse group of backgrounds in education and her being here in history. And it's just what we really try to do is educate the public on how to prepare themselves better rather than having to rely on the government to take care of them during an emergency.
Right. Which I think you've done a really good job of putting that together. Talk a little bit about what's happened in 2021. I know there's been some accolades for EMA. There's been some certifications gained for some of your staff. Some of the things that we've done to kind of move the department forward. Yes, this past year.
Yeah, like I said, we had our new hire, so we're a full staff of 3, and Corbin got his advanced CEM and basic CEM. They're given 4 months by the state of Georgia to get it. He got it in, 4 years. He got it in literally 11 months. So you have a full staff of advanced certified emergency managers, which hasn't happened here in Columbia County before. So that's great. We got an ambassador appointment, or however you say it, from the National Weather Service for just working with them and educating the county citizens on the Storm Spotter program, and we're a storm ready county, and just trying to work with the different organizations out there to build a better, more sound, response team, or actually not even a response team, a preparation team.
Right. You mentioned that we're really working to make sure that the public is better prepared. And that's all. We always want to do that through education. But when disaster strikes, when there's an emergency in Columbia County, that's when you and your team spring into action. And most times we're right here in this Emergency Operations Center. Talk a little bit about how that works, because I tell you, I've just been blown away by the collaboration. I don't think people really know what's going on behind the scenes. Sure. When there's an emergency in Columbia County.
Yes, sir. The biggest thing I could say is togetherness. It's funny. You're right. When we do work, other than the times that we declare an emergency, doing the preparation. But once we start in here, my 6th day here as deputy director, when I was deputy director, was Hurricane Irma. And the biggest thing that I got from this county was that nobody ever told us no. You need all these different pieces to come together. Fire rescue, the sheriff's department, they're all out there doing the work that they have to do, but roads and bridges, and we're a huge partner with GIS and the water departments. Everybody comes together just to make sure that we're successful in making sure that the citizens get everything that they need during an emergency. And that's part of the education that I want to give to people, is that they don't have to dial 911 when we're in an overall emergency, so they can prepare themselves better to let not to say real emergencies, but the high level, first responder emergencies, and then we're going to take care of the rest, putting all the pieces back together and whatnot.
Yeah, you mentioned everybody working together, and GIS is a huge component of what we do here. And I know we have some of the maps behind us and some of the things that we see. But one of the things that you came up with and has been really important for us is tracking our assets during a disaster. Now we have an ability to be able to do that, to get up-to-date situation reports, so we know we can make better decisions on how things are deployed and those sort of things.
Yes, sir. The first time that I was in here, I kind of, all y'all were sitting on the side, and I just, being from the Air Force, we had a huge picture of, the current battle scene, and that's what I call it when we have an emergency. And you can base everything from GIS, that everything has a spot on the earth. And that's how Columbia County manages its asset system. Whether you're talking about water mains or manholes or electricity and power lines and generators, everything that we have that belongs to the county has a spot on the earth. So when there's something going on for it, GIS built us a dashboard based on everything that we actually already do in an asset management system in CityWorks. So that way, when you guys are over there making decisions, you can see where all the hot spots are and all the actions happening in the county. And instead of sending utility trucks from one side to the other, oh, well, we already have and we can dispatch them from here, and it makes the response just that much quicker. It's exactly like a battle rhythm in the military, and that's kind of how I wanted to build this. And the best thing yet is that we didn't change any of the aspects of what our county employees do on a day-to-day basis. We're taking a system that they've already built, that they already use, and they're already familiar with. You make one little tweak, and it shows you everything that you need during an emergency.
Yeah. And I tell you, I've been very impressed with how we've responded, how our teams responded to emergencies in the past. I think we're very prepared. Now, I will say, you guys do a lot of exercises and training. So
Yes,
when
sir.
we're not actually in the middle of something, you're kind of getting ready for something, right?
Yes, sir. We do. We're required by the state to do 3 a year, and we're required to do a full scale every 4 years. But we've actually been on schedule of doing a full scale every single year, and we use all kinds of different county departments. Coming up this year in the summer, we're going to do an exercise together with the Board of Education, the Sheriff's Office, Fire Rescue, GIS. We're going to do a full scale about doing an evacuation at a school, and we're going to ramp up one of our shelters just so community services can get that practice in. And what I love about doing these exercises with our teams, a lot of people will do it just to check the boxes. I don't want to do that. I want to make it where it's useful for you and useful for all the single departments in there, so they get something out of it. It's just not my objectives. It's everybody's objectives, so they make themselves better when it comes time to do that.
Yeah, I think it really works out well. Hopefully, we never need that.
I hope
But
not.
fact of the matter is, there may be a time that we do, and if we
sir.
ever do, we want to make sure that we're prepared. And speaking of being prepared, you guys do a Prepare and Aware Day. You've done that in the past, and you've kind of got a little different twist on it. So
Yes,
talk
sir.
maybe a little bit about what you did this past year and what the future looks like for EMA.
Yes, sir. On the absolute hottest day on earth last year, we had the Public Safety and Preparedness Fair, and what I wanted to show everybody is how that we are one huge team. Fire rescue is extraordinarily important. So is the Sheriff's Office, and so are we trying to put all those entities together. So I think we had 17 outside organizations, to include Augusta University and the National Weather Service that I talked about before, but we also had 15 or 16 offices from within Columbia County that show what they can do, stormwater and flood preparedness, all that different stuff. And we had rides and bands and all that. That was fun too. Some of the outreach plans that we have this year includes an open house. We had the Public Safety and Preparedness Fair last year, and I don't want to do the same thing every year. This year I want to give them the opportunity to come see exactly what goes on. Now, it's not going to be during a live activated EOC, but what we're going to have is the capability for people to come walk through and ask questions about everything that you see behind you. And it's going to be on February 8th, and it's going to be from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that gives people, a little bit of time during the day and in the evening to come by and check everything out. We're actually, last year we partnered with the Georgia Department of Health. We did a lot of work to give them a place in the area and the staff that they needed in order to provide COVID shots for people, for about 4 or 5 months. And we're actually going to give them the front room in here also, so they can provide shots during the open house too. So I want to be able to show people exactly what's going on and how many people come together. EMA is not an office on its own. We really need so many different people to be successful.
Yep. And I think, again, that goes back to collaboration and how well we work together in the county, and certainly appreciate you and your staff
Yes,
being a big part of that. Anything you want to add? Anything that we missed about 2021, or anything that's coming up you need to make the public aware of?
The biggest thing that I'm most proud is just we haven't shut down very much during the pandemic.
Right. Yeah.
And what a lot of people are doing from outside counties or at state levels is they're coming here, and it's offering us the ability to give a lot of classes to the general public. Like I said, I want to educate people on Storm Spotter and Pack a Bag. How can I teach people to have a 72-hour kit? People think, oh, how am I going to do all this at one time? It costs so much money. We're trying to teach people that you don't need to do it all at one time. You can prepare over, days and months until you get you and your family ready to take care of themselves during an emergency. We've had Stop the Bleed classes. So my goal this year is to have 12 different outreach events over the next, starting in January, so
Right.
We're right here at the end of the year. So we can just get more public outreach, more communication, but just getting them used to our faces. We want to really be able to matter when we have something coming from this office.
Sure. Well, thank you, Shawn. Thank you for what you do. Thank you
sir.
for what your team does. We
Thank
very
you.
much appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And thank you all for joining us on this series of what's been going on in Columbia County in 2021. We hope you have enjoyed watching the videos. Would ask that you share them with your friends. Give us a like. Just get the word out. And that's really what this is all about. This is Columbia County government being responsive to our citizens and making sure that we're providing you with all the necessary information that we can give you. With that, again, I'm Scott Johnson. I'm your county manager. We are here for you. If you ever need anything in Columbia County from EMA or any other division that we've talked about, certainly give us a call and we'll be glad to take care of whatever needs you may have. Take care.